From Lagos, the nation's commercial capital, this is the news at 10, live from Channels Television. Reporting tonight,
Ijoma Oyato.
Hello and welcome. Tonight, Kano seems to be under siege by Boko Haram insurgents as a fifth bomb attack in 3 days is recorded in the city. Federal government approves launch of Terrorism Victim Support Fund initiated by President Goodluck Jonathan. Nigerians asked to be on full alert over Ebola presence. Government still battles to locate others in contact with the victim. And at least 17 people killed in Gaza as Israel continues its pounding of the Palestinian city.
On business news tonight, business activities resume across the country after a 2-day holiday to commemorate Eid al-Fitr.
And on sports news tonight, Team Nigeria's impressive performance continued on day 7 of the 2014 Commonwealth Games as the country won 3 gold medals.
I'm Gloria Umezioke, and from Abuja, federal government launches e-passport for Nigerians. New booklet contains 64 pages.
Until recently, Kano was not among the cities under threat by the insurgent group Boko Haram. But with 5 separate attacks in 3 days, there is call for concern. Today, the State Polytechnic in the ancient city of Kano was hit by a female suicide bomber, leaving 5 people, including the bomber, dead. The explosion, which also left another 6 people injured, occurred at the institution's administrative building, where some of the fresh graduates were checking for their National Youth Service postings. Today's explosion is the 5th this week and coming about 48 hours after 2 explosions went off in the state. The first explosion on Monday tore through the Hotoro area of the city, killing no fewer than 5 persons. The police say the second explosion was also detonated by a female suicide bomber, just like the first. Our correspondent Loretta Chiogo reports.
Just as people are gradually recovering from the bloody Kano twin blast anchored by female bombers during the Salah holidays, again, the city is hit with another bomb, this time killing 6 people as work resumes.
Security forces on Tuesday, July 29th, 2014, at about 10 p.m. along Zaria Road, to the Moda area of Funtua Metropolis, arrested 3 suspects believed to be members of the Boko Haram sect. The 3 suspects included a male named Ilya Ahiru and 2 females, Zainab Musa, 18 years, and Hadiza Musa, 10 years old.
The Kano blast may have prompted the security checks at other parts of the country. At the Doesenkanga Secretariat in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State, the south-south region of Nigeria, workers returning to work after the Salah holidays and visitors to the Secretariat are subjected to thorough security checks. The southeast region is more calm as workers and business owners return to their work posts. Loretta Chiogo, Channels Television News.
And in another security breach, 13 people have died and 35 others injured after suicide bombers attacked 2 mosques in Potiskum, Yobe State, in Nigeria's restive northeast region. The first blast went off at an open-air mosque belonging to a Shiite Muslim sect in Dogo Table area of Potiskum around 7:55 p.m. yesterday. The second took place about 5 minutes later at a mosque within the compound of the chief imam. The town was locked down by soldiers following the attacks, with residents ordered to remain indoors. The Emir of Fika and the chairman of the Yobe State Council of Chiefs, Ibn Muhammadu Idris, who visited the scenes of the blasts, condemned the attacks, calling on the people to be vigilant.
Shocking development, although we are in a state of so many security challenges, and I will condemn this act. It is a very barbaric and very saddening that people praying in their mosque, somebody will come and blow them. So it is, we condemn it, and we pray that Allah will expose them. And also we urge people to be more vigilant so that we are able to stop these things.
Now staying with terror issues, and the U.S. says that it has and will continue to assist Nigeria to fight the insurgency. The U.S. Consul General to Nigeria, Jeffrey Hawkins, told Channels Television earlier today that it's collaborating with Nigeria's security agencies in the quest to rescue the kidnapped Chibok girls and indeed in the overall fight against insurgency.
The Boko Haram issue is a big one. It's very important for us, and it's something that we're very interested in working with the Nigerian government on. The Chibok girls, their abduction caught the attention of the international community in a way that nothing else had previously to that. And so as terrible as that is, and as much as we hope and pray for the return of the girls shortly, at least it played that role of generating sort of an international interest. The U.S. government interest in assisting Nigeria with Boko Haram predates that. We've been engaged for a long time with the U.S. government. 3 individuals from Boko Haram were designated as terrorists in 2012. We designated Boko Haram as a foreign terrorist organization in 2013. We have an extensive engagement with the Nigerian government on security side, which has ramped up since the Chibok girls have been abducted. We're working with security forces on professionalized security forces, working with the security forces on human rights issues and dealing with the civilian population up there, working with the police forces on things like IED detection. And there's a range of engagement across a whole series of security-related areas, and then a much wider engagement focused on the north. Because we believe that the security problem is serious, but that is not the only aspect of the problem. That really there's a much wider sort of problem of development and engagement with the people of northern Nigeria that needs to be addressed too, and we're very much interested in working in education, agriculture, and other areas, health, to try and help the Nigerian government address some of the root sort of problems that create the sort of desperation that would lead people to do the sorts of heinous things that Boko Haram does.
U.S. Consul General to Nigeria, Jeffrey Hawkins. In the meantime, the federal government has appealed to Nigerians to make donations to the Victim Support Fund, scheduled to be launched tomorrow at the banquet hall in the Presidential Villa. Briefing State House correspondents on the outcome of the Federal Executive Council meeting, the Minister of Information, Mr. Labaran Mako, said that the private sector, international foundations, funding agencies and all Nigerians are expected to participate in the fundraising. Now it appears that the last has not been heard of the alleged cash gift of 100 million naira by the federal government to the Chibok girls and their parents, as members of the community have denied receiving such an amount of money. An official of the community, Mr. Dauda Ilya, told journalists in Abuja that while efforts to alleviate the plights of the Chibok parents are welcome, the approach allegedly adopted by the presidency has brought dishonor to the community. On their part, the campaigners calling for the rescue of the girls are of the opinion that the latest development is targeted at diverting them.
On the night of the 22nd of July 2014, at about midnight, the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Special Duties, who had been coordinating the visit on the side of the presidency, visited the hotel and told the 51 escaped girls who came that the presidency sent them a token of 100,000 naira each, and accordingly gave them the said money without even a prior discussion or knowledge of the cadre officials or any other person in the community that were around the vicinity of the hotel. The senior special assistant equally gave the sum of 200,000 naira each to 61 parents out of the 122 that came on the visit. 51 parents were given 100,000 naira each on the basis that the money given to him was not enough to go around at the agreed amount of 200,000. The remaining 10 parents were not given any money at all. While we acknowledge that any well-intended support for our suffering population, which has lost means of livelihood since the events of April and subsequent sustained attacks by the insurgents, could be welcome and is highly welcome, the approach that the presidency has adopted and has brought reproach and dishonor to our people and our community in the eyes of the public that has supported us since this abduction is, to say the least, unfortunate.
In part 2, after the break, Lagos State government explains developments on Ebola virus. That's in a moment. Do join us again.